Whether you manage projects and programs, are involved with them, or are impacted by projects and programs, we hope this series is of help to you. Using pragmatics and practicalities with shared expertise, activities which are often just assumed but whose absence impacts the delivery of projects are addressed. Time is also taken to consider areas of projects whose importance and significance are often overlooked or underestimated. In this longer session, we have 4 themes within our look at data and its migration within the impact upon projects and programs. Whether it is business transformation, digital transformation, business separations, mergers, systems replacements and or upgrades, data and its migration can often take longer than planned and with greater impacts to a project than considered. Data and its migration can be complex, nuanced, and can take more time than considered. The expected returns and benefits of a project need to factor the role, the usage, and the return from the data on which a business operates. The business case considers a risk-based approach to the data, considering the value of the data, the usage of the data, what is involved in any data migration, as well as other aspects like access via third parties and channel partners, as well as any required integrations. Cost and effort. The cost and effort for migration. In some instances, the effort to remediate data is just too timely and or expensive for the expected return. Legacy. There is a difference between what data needs to be migrated for current needs versus data held as records management obligations or data which can be addressed incrementally and subsequently as needs dictate. Dual mode. In certain instances, a dual mode may be necessary because the data migration is too costly or takes too long. Undesirable options include keeping an old system going for a period in parallel, even if read-only, with the complexities of dual processing. Having duplicate screens and replicated data structures in the old and new styles. Then, based on time, say, the legacy data are rendered perhaps as read-only, but after a certain date, the properly structured data are rendered in different screens and database fields. Data changes are addressed over time. Analytics. Analytics can be used in the assessment of data for migration, the reporting of data migration, and in the management of a risk-based approach to data migration. The future use of data in analytics and with artificial intelligence is a consideration in data migration. This ends the first theme in this session. Clearly, data migration is nuanced, can be complex, and takes time to realize. There are 3 more themes to go. The second theme is around different types of data that may need to be migrated. A range of data types may need to be migrated, including user and related account details, spatial data like maps with changes in formats, as well as differences in rendering. The data in databases termed structured data, whether transactional in nature or other. The supporting data, which is that in support of the other data, e.g. flags for suspended accounts. The non-structured data, like documents and emails, whether stored on local drives or records management systems, or mail and archive. Related to all of these are the permissions and the role-based access, privacy, and related considerations in relation to the differing data types. The information which describes the data, termed metadata, may also need to be addressed. Metadata cleanup, revisions, extra fields added with compatibility between current and intended structures are areas for consideration. This ends the second theme in this session. Data migration can obviously take time to address, and there are two more themes to go. Our third theme is complex as seen by the diagram. Data and its migration are on a risk-based approach for the differing data types against the need, the cost, and effort. While not all aspects are required for each project, it is clear that time and complexity often occur with data and migration. Field matching. To migrate databases, details of the fields and structures needed to be identified and matched. This is often a manual process taking time. While matching is a requisite for data migration, other factors may need to be addressed for a data migration to occur. Normalization and concatenation. Data may be joined together, concatenation, making it difficult to migrate to a new structure. In addition, differences in context, say, between people and organizations may not have been separated out. Normalization leading to errors in data migration. Anonymization and pseudonyms. Data migration may require some details in the data to be anonymous or pseudonyms used for reporting. Such details may need to be addressed in a data migration. Entity management. A contact type may not have been created for certain contact details, but it would be better if it had, e.g. vendors versus outsourcer. Leaving the issue unresolved can cause problems in an application which requires the data to be revised. Standardization and naming convention. It takes time to come to agreement on naming conventions and other standards in the use of data. Aligning these also takes time. Reference matching. Documents from various sources may have been matched by varying references. Sometimes the references need to be revised, but changes in references can bring unexpected impacts. A decision on how to manage this may be required. Context. Free text fields used in different ways over time with variable quality details may provide important context to business operations, but are difficult to migrate from a data perspective. Channel partners, third parties, regulatory compliance. Data and its changes may impact channel partners and third parties. Some supply data and changes may be required. Others depend upon the supply of information for which impacts may need to be managed. Regulatory and compliance impacts may also need to be addressed, like reporting changes. Integration, sharing, synchronization. Data changes across related systems with updates and synchronization are also to be managed. Updating and testing. In addition, testing of the data updates, testing of the data migration, testing between applications are some of the data testing required. At the end of theme 3, it is clear that data migration is complex and takes time to achieve. Please hang in there as we enter to our fourth and final theme. So far, we have talked about the considerations of data, the types of data, and then some aspects of data migration. In this last theme, we talk about the data migration process and its validation. Data migration is a process requiring scripts to extract data, format data, clean data, transfer data, and monitor the transfer of data. The scripts are often custom one-offs to be developed and tested. The metadata, permissions, role-based access, and other considerations like privacy need to be factored in the data migration, and may require their own scripts and testing and/or work alongside the data. The information security within the migration exists. The storage at the start and end of the process is secure. The data transfer is secure, and the buffer is securely cleared. Testing is needed across the data and migration process and verification on a risk-based approach. Again, this takes time to plan, implement, develop, apply, and test. We finish our final theme on data migration with a simple message. Pause, think about it, and take in the fact that 4 complex themes have been distilled and simplified, yet the session is still long and complex. This means that data migration is worthy of your time and often takes longer than considered. While the needs and complexities of data and migration can vary across projects and different stages in a project, the time required and complexity for data migration is something a project needs to factor for. The fact that 4 themes within data migration are covered in a condensed way while drawing out the importance and time considerations is the message. Thank you for your time, and may your investment be returned. Please share with others. Feel free to subscribe and add your comments. Here's to success in your projects and programs.